All right, so welcome everyone to the joint program from BIAR and BIST for today's community meeting and education session. We will be hosting the topic called Unapologetically Exploring My Solo Adventures as a Black Woman with a Disability in Singapore and Dubai. We're really excited to invite Susan Stewart, who will be our guest speaker for today. Susan is from the Terminal Operations. Susan is a Terminal Operations Support Administrator at the Greater Toronto Airports Authority, GTAA. So we're really excited to invite Susan to come and speak for us today. And a little bit about Susan. As I mentioned, Susan is a Terminal Operations Support Administrator. She has dedicated over 7.5 years to fostering diversity, engagement, and operational excellence from the curb to the gate. Beginning with a 6-month internship in human resources, Susan contributed to inclusive initiatives such as Sky's the Limit, supporting employees of all abilities, and enhancing workplace culture. A former 1996 Olympic basketball player and Ontario Basketball Hall of Famer, Susan brings the resilience, discipline, and competitive spirit of an elite athlete into their professional career. As a 20-year brain injury survivor, Susan is deeply committed to advancing accessibility at Toronto Pearson, having supported initiatives including the YYBeeZ Apiary Tour and the Sunflower Lanyard Program to create a seamless travel experience for passengers with disabilities. Beyond the terminal, Susan is active in community engagement, volunteering on initiatives such as the 2K Walk and Roll in partnership with New Vision. A lifelong learner who has completed more than 200 LinkedIn learning courses, Susan continuously seeks to grow while empowering colleagues and advancing GTAA's mission of delivering a safe, inclusive, and world-class passenger experience. So please, Susan, take it away.
Wow, thank you so much, Madison. Wow. Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to be here and to share some of my travel experiences, which have been so life-changing. I have a lot of memories from those trips, and I want to share it to encourage those that are listening to get out. If you've been wondering about taking a trip, do it. I did it. That's why I'm here. I'm here to encourage and to empower those who have gone through a brain injury. Now I know every brain injury is different. So I want to say that right off the cusp. I mean everybody's situation is different, but I know for myself, I'm just sharing what my lived experience with you all. And you can take, add, subtract for your own and make your own personal plan when planning a vacation for yourself if you decide to go by yourself. I'm a little daring, so I just wanted to share that with you. Anyways, can you next slide, please, Madison? We're gonna go through these discussion points after I give you a little presentation. There's 4 of them that we're gonna discuss. I really want to I really want to talk about each slide before we go into engaging conversation. I want to leave that for the last part because I definitely would like to hear from you and I love to share my live experience with you all. So I'm really going to take more time for at the end of this presentation. But some of you, these are some points that have worked for me and I'm just sharing them with you. Next slide, please, Madison. Okay, traveling solo with a brain injury can be positive and empowering experience, but preparation is the key for your safety, comfort, and peace of mind. Here are some tailored tailored things that have worked for me, and I'm sharing them with you. The first one is, 'cause it's very important that you consult your doctor and that you go in for a checkup, make sure that you're okay to travel, or if just to let him know what you're thinking of doing so that he can advise you what you need to take with you, what you need, blah, blah, blah. I know for me, drinking water, lots of water was very important for me in my trip. So, and making sure that I'm taking my vitamins and stuff like that. That's one thing that I made sure that consulting my doctor, consulting my physiotherapist, getting a massage before the trip was another thing that was very important to me. So I just wanted to share that with you. I'm just going over these overviews. You can read them for yourself as we go along. But it's very important that number one, you consult your doctor before you leave. Next slide, please, Madison.
Sorry,
Oh,
Susan, I think maybe the audio is a little bit lower. Is there maybe
okay.
like a speaker? Okay, that's much better. Perfect.
Now, I think I'm a little animated too, so I have to sit still. Okay, just let me know if you can't hear me. I'll try to. Destination planning. This is number two because when I decided to take my first trip, I planned 5 months ahead of time. I looked into some people that I can connect with, that I can link up with, and let them know that I'm deciding to come to their country. Maybe they can set aside some time for me, and just to have somebody else there was important. Choosing accessible destinations, picking a hotel that was close to most things was very important to me. And then my itinerary, I was very interchangeable. I knew where I wanted to go based on the things I looked up on social media and what people were saying, and that's how I chose. Destination planning is very important, and I know that for me, I've traveled most of the world with Canada Basketball, but there's some places that I have not seen, so I chose places that I had not seen in making my decision to go on my solo vacations. Next slide, please. Number three is prepare medical supplies. That was another thing. I know for me, I have a CPAP machine, and I had to prepare that in my suitcase, packing and making sure that I had that close by in my carry on. And it's very important that I didn't know that at the airport that with your carry on, your carry case, your CPAP machine, you got to take it. You have to take it out. They have to see it, which was a little bit of a pain in the butt for me. But you have to make sure that you prepare for that because we have a lot of CPAP machines lost here at the airport. And it's very important that you realize that for our X-ray machines, I'm told that we got to take the large piece out of the airport so they can see it and then go through it. And then you have to put it back neatly pack it back into your bag. So you have to prepare yourself for that. Um, um, I know for me, I know here it says emergency info. If any in case of emergency, I definitely had my parents on my phone. You make sure you have that all set up. Yeah, if you wear a medical ID, make sure you have that presentable so people can see that you carry it. Um, so whatever brain injury medication you have, make sure you have those packed in your carry-on. That would be my advice to you. Um, okay, can we go to slide four or for travel arrangements? Here, notify airlines, transportation. I know that for me, with every flight that I took, I made sure that I notified the airline that I was traveling with. I inform them that I have a brain, let them know that, I'm a brain injury survivor, and I made sure that I had my lanyard visible so they can see that, if I need any help along the way, that they would give or assistance, they would know, they would see that and try and be there to help me. I know when I flew to I think it was I think it was Singapore. One of the airline one of the airline folks reached out to me right away to let me know that they're there to assist me and to help me with anything I need. That if I need their assistance, they're right there for me. And they chose a seat for me that was they made sure that they the seat that I had they gave me a better seat. So it's very important that you let them know ahead of time that these things are needed, and they'll make sure that they'll take care of you. Um, if you have an accessibility request, you make sure that you prearrange it and let them know, because it's better off if you let them know than they don't know, because I know that when you tell them on the fly they're not prepared, but they will prepare properly when you make sure that you notify them ahead of time. Right. Next slide, please. Safety precautions. Okay. For me, I know that buddy system when needed. Consider meeting up with local guides. And I know for me, what my buddy system was when I traveled to Singapore, per se, and that's a 14-hour trip. I made sure that I had some friends who had friends in these countries, that I reconnected with them 5 months before to let them know that I'm coming, that they were always looking out for me. They had my number, making sure that I'm okay. And so, they would advise me to get some rest. They would advise me, it's very important that you have people that are there to support you and they know about your situation. And so communication for me is a big thing, that you communicate with everyone. You let them um what you need. So that's safety precautions. Another thing that I did on my first solo trip, I never got off at the elevator of my floor. I usually go up to, like, you don't know who's following and who's watching you, so you have to make sure that and this I'm only talking about solo trips. You have to be smart about what you're doing. So I know for me, anytime I left the hotel and I was out walking around, I'd always I get a business card of the hotel that I'm staying. So in case I'm lost, I can show someone, where I'm staying, blah blah blah. Um, Same thing with checking with my buddy system. I went here, there, making sure that I'm okay. So that's something that I want to make sure that you take safety precautions, especially if you're traveling by yourself. That you don't get up at you walk around, you make sure nobody's watching you. You don't. And the other thing that I did is, you never saw me hanging out anywhere. I just went about my business, went to my room, type things. I need to make sure that nobody knew I was traveling alone. I've always met someone. It's funny when you travel alone, you're never alone. I just want to make that clear. You are never alone, because you always meet someone who's who's looking out for you and making sure that they know. You don't have to tell them much, but you always meet someone that's making sure that you're okay. Next slide, please. Tools and technologies. I know that with my phone, I had my phone with me, and it's like I said before, it's important that you have all the smart apps that you need. I know that when I planned for Singapore, I made sure that I had the apps that I needed to travel there, um, so that I was up to date with what was going on at that in that country. So it's very important. I had backup batteries. I did travel with my power bank, and so I was never out of power any time. And so it's very important that you do that yourself. I know right now at the airport you cannot have your power bank in your carry-on. I don't think they're allowing that at security, but I think you can leave it in your suitcase. You can't travel with it on the plane, and you can check before. I would definitely phone before and ask them, because we have a lot of lost backup battery power banks here. But make sure that you have, and make sure that with that I know you travel to all these different countries. Make sure that you have the right plugs. That was another thing, making sure that you get all the tools, the right plugs. That when you go to those countries, that you're able to get a plug. I know that when I traveled to Singapore, when my plug was not working, they had a plug for yes, and they gave me theirs, and theirs worked. So make sure that you have everything working that you need. Communication and understanding. I think what I have here in terms of some tips, you make sure that you're able to communicate. I mean, for me, I did a lot of research. Wherever I traveled to, I did a ton of research. What things you do, do's and don'ts. Make sure that you do your research. Make sure you have everything down. Go to every blog, whatever people are saying about these countries, so you are fully aware what you can do, and what you can't do, and what are safe places, what are not unsafe places. Make sure you do. I can't stress it enough that you do your homework. Do your homework on all these places. I know for me, it's very important. You don't just go there just on the whim. Make sure that you do your homework. Next slide, please. Cognitive tips. For me, sticking to familiar routines were meals, medication, and sleep. One thing I did, I booked a lot of all inclusive. So there was a routine of when breakfast was, when lunch was, when dinner was. So I wanted to make sure that that was familiar with me. I think it's important to keep simple notes or use your phone to jot down important details. Was very important to me. Um, Insurance. Another thing that I talked about is insurance. Making sure that you are, are making sure that you are you that on your flights you are um, you're booking getting coverage, making sure that you're getting coverage on the way there and on the way back. Very important. Um, Condition. Oh, sorry, I'm a little distracted. Put the doors open. Okay. Next slide, please. Packing comfort items are important. Whatever you're comfortable with, bring them with you. Headphones, sunglasses, water bottle, favorite snacks, bring them with you because you're not too sure what you're getting where you are. And I, I know that I brought a lot of snacks with me. Dollar store was my friend. Um, Organizer, packing cubes, pillow organizers to keep everything easy to find. I think for me, I'm not a perfectionist, but I like to know where things are. I think that's a part of my athletic background. I'm very disciplined with the different things that I do. And so I know that making sure that you're really organized. Sometimes I'm too organized to the T, but I can't help it. That's who I am. That's what I do. I try to organize all my stuff that I need, all the comfort things that I need. Make sure that they're packed and ready. If I need them at any time, I can reach out and get them. Next slide, please, Madison. Final thoughts. Solo, I say that solo travel after a brain injury is possible with careful planning and support. You have you have a safe, enjoyable, and travel experience. Don't hesitate to reach out to the disability travel tourism or other organizations to get extra advice and or encouragement. I know for me, I watch all those blogs on social media and I hear what people are saying about trips they take. I think that's what encouraged me to take my trip was that I saw other people doing it. And I'll never forget. I never forget. My sister and I went somewhere together on a trip. And I was saying, "Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that." But other people that were there who had disabilities were with canes and they were having a ball. They were doing all these things, and my sister was like, "See, you can do it." And so I remember I had that in the back of my mind. I was complaining I can't do this, I can't do that, when I've seen other people doing much more than me, who were like enjoying their time and making the most of their inabilities. So If you have a trip in mind, do it. You will not regret it, and you won't regret it as long as you properly plan and prepare. You can go anywhere you would like to go. Also, arrange 2 to 3 hours of getting to the airport so that you are fully prepared. I know for me, my stress and my worry is going through security. Security is no joke, but if you properly plan and prepare how to go through security, you can go through security seamlessly. Seriously, if you plan and prepare, take your time. I know for me, I put in this note compression stockings on flights. I definitely went and got that because I have problems swimming in my feet. And so by getting these stockings on my flight, helped me with when I landed. My feet weren't as bad and puffy as they normally get. Like I said, 5 months early, I planned for the trip, any trip. That's how I plan it out, so I know where to go, what to do, who to speak to, blah blah blah. Planning is very important. Arranging clothes or length of stay. My length of stay was always 1 week, so I knew what I was wearing down is what I was wearing back. So that took care of 2 days. But I had to pack for the next 5 days. And I think that was a simplistic rule for me. What I wear down is what I'm wearing back. And so that was easy peasy. That's 2 days of traveling done. So two days there. So now I gotta plan for 5 days what I'm gonna wear. Okay, that was one. Number two, and I suggest this, nonstop travel. I don't like getting off the plane, getting my bag. Too stressful for me. One stop, nonstop, one stop. That's it. That's it. That's all I can take. So that was just me. Another thing was wearing the sunflower lanyard in the airport. I was an advocate of the sunflower lanyard, and I made sure that people saw me, that I was seen, heard, and that they looked out for me and making sure that I know at Toronto Pearson we have designated lanes for you to go through security with your sunflower lanyard, and so that's why I make sure I wear it. And I know that at the airport here, if you go to the information booth, they will gladly give you one, or you can come down to Lost and Found, or you can pre-order one through the website, and we'll send you one. So you have that. And that helps with the ease of going through security too. Um, and then the other thing that I put here, which is important, and my sister was laughing at me. I'm like, it's no laughing matter. When I go to the gate, when I'm getting on the flight, I let it be known that I would like, that we get we get to go sit in the plane, get ourselves stimulated in our seats and get, so that we're not rushed. We get, they call it to get to the plane and get ourselves situated. So that's one thing that I enjoy, and I just want to just let you know that. And that ends my short little preparation here. And, before you take that flight, these are some things that definitely helped me. And actually, if you could just go through the next slide, I'm just going to share it briefly. This is when I went to the Bahamas. This is the very first solo trip I took by myself. You see me in the DJ stuff. Um, this was a very frightening. I'm just gonna share. It was frightening because a hurricane, a Category 5 hurricane, was destined to this destination in 2019 called Dorian. And my mother and everybody begged me not to go. Begged me, begged me, begged me. And I said, nope, I'm going. And I went. I was scared. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. And I remember going there, and the first night I made sure that my door, when I slept the first night of sleeping, my door was I put something heavy. I think it was like a dresser door or whatever at the door. So every night I slept, I kind of had my own little security. And this is where I also we always got off at the first different floors, and no one knew what floor it was on because at this hotel, when you get in the elevator, you can see in the bottom what floor you get off at. So I had to put my detective cap on, and and always do things backwards, do things that go to a different room, get off, go pretend like I'm not knowing what I was doing. But anyways, I met some friends there, some two girls from New York, and they just took me under their wing, and we became friends while I was there. Next slide, please. Okay, Dubai. This was my this is Dubai 2025. This was my dream trip. This is the one that I really planned for because I really wanted to go there. I had not been there. This was my first group. I went with Wing Buddy. It was a group travel. My sister encouraged me to go with a group travel. I said, okay, let me try it, but you're really on your own. But I met many wonderful people, and we became friends and still talk to each other to this day. And I believe that that's the way to go. You're with a different group, a group of people from the United States, from all over, but you all come together to go on this fantastic. It was a life dream come true. I got to go somewhere where I wanted to go. Thank you. And then I met some people who knew my family. You're not, like I said, you're never alone. You are never alone. Next slide, please, Madison. Okay, this is my daring trip. This is when I went to St. Martin, St. Bart's. One flight to St. Martin's, you can go to three different islands in one trip. That was so much fun. Like I said, again, you meet so many different people. These are not family or friends of mine. I just met them along the way. I did the most daringest thing ever while I was in St. Martin's. I zip lined the highest peak mountain with this young lady, and she was doing something frightening too. And we screamed all the way down the hill. It was, if you ever go there and you look up, it's insane. But I did it, and I didn't. I felt it was I had so much fun in this trip, and I just shared this with you. From St. Martin's, I went to St. Bart's. I always heard about this St. Bart's. I just went there just to look and see. Took a little tour. The little cab was really nice. Then I went to get something to eat at Nikki Beach because I was told that was the place to go. And I went and had so much fun there. And I met tons of people, tons of people. Then I came back. You take the ferry out. It was a fantastic trip. Another one, another place that I went meeting people. It was fantastic. Next slide, please. Okay, Singapore. This place was I had some other slides that shows the accessibility. Like if you ever want to see accessibility done well intentionally, go to Singapore. The like from their airport um to to their subway system to anything. That place was amazing. And if you ever get a chance, my friends, please go to Singapore. Like they know how to do it right. Anyway, this is where I had that contact with a friend here who made contacts with me in Singapore, and I got to meet all these lovely people. And there were some places that I wanted to go, and that were on my itinerary that I got to, and it was an amazing trip. This was a 14-hour trip again too, and I tell you, when I finally got there, my feet were so swollen that I went to a foot massage place for them to massage my feet because my feet were in bad shape from this trip. So I made sure I found the place and I got it done, and I don't know what else to say. And I'm gonna leave it for questions later, and then you can ask me more. But I'm just sharing that these are that's it. Next slide. Am I done, Madison? Are
Yes,
we
I think
opening?
this is the last slide here.
Okay, good. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to take this time to just put the recording on pause. And then I will invite everyone, if you feel comfortable, for any questions for Susan, comments. If you'd like to share your travel experiences, I'm going to open up the floor for people to do so.